Beautiful. All right. No big overall announcements from me. AGU abstracts have already wrapped, but I think the Dash ones are due fairly soon. I'm blanking on the due date for that.
August
Um,
8th, I think.
there we go, August 8th. So Friday. I had to mental math there for a second. So Friday dash abstracts are due. So if you're planning on going and submitting anything, do that now. Uh, Registration is free. There's the option whenever you sign up to get lunches ahead of time as well as a fun boat ride. So don't delay if that's of interest to you. Sean, do you have any overall announcements?
A little bit actually. About 3 weeks ago, I did submit a of intent to this group called the Navigation Fund that we're seeking AI for open science tools, and I am proposing to get like something around $300,000 to build PyHC chat. And tomorrow is the 3 week mark. They said that by 2 to 3 weeks after the deadline, they should be sending out invitations for full proposals. So I have not heard back from them yet. That's the unfortunate news. But by tomorrow is when they promise to be telling us. So maybe by the next Telecon, I'll be telling you all either yes or no, I got invited for a full one or not.
So, Sean, I would say go ask because the workshop that I'm leading next week, they never got back to me because it slipped through the cracks. So
Oh,
just go ask.
so just go ask if I don't hear back from them. Good,
Yep,
good idea. Thank
go
you.
for it. Hmm.
All righty. Is that all, Sean?
Oh yeah, that's all I had.
Cool, cool. Um, well, we have a few slides and things to show you before we hop into the meat of today's activity, submitting resources to the HSSI. Quick show of hands, though, who has not seen me give the spiel about what HSSI is? You can use the raise hand feature if you want. Okay. I can't hear you, John.
I don't think I've seen it recently. I heard like the initial announcement about it, but
Okay. I just wanted to know how much detail to go into with the slide deck. So it sounds like it's worth going ahead and giving the spiel. So I will. Chrome. Beautiful. Oh gosh, of course, all of my things are covering the screen.
we can see it fine.
Yeah, it's just my like the meeting controls are like covering where I need to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do you see an actual thing now? Presentation mode.
That's the
Yes.
presentation, yes.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Okay. So I won't belabor these slides too much. We want to get more to the meat of today's activity, but a quick overview. So the HSSI stands for the Heliophysics Software Search Interface. This is a NASA Roses proposal from technically the 23 call that I was awarded and funded for from the HPOS call, the High Priority Open Source Science. So why do we need it? Current generic search interfaces like GitHub, Google, all that don't provide the science-specific filters that are needed to really improve search results for heliophysics software. The ADS interface links to related software based on citations, which we're doing a bit better nowadays about, but it's still not as good as it could be for the heliophysics situation. And why what we have currently in heliophysics isn't sufficient. It's lovely you're all here for PyHC, but it does include only Python-centric open source software. So we're missing many packages, IDL, etc., that heliophysicists use in their research. There's lacking software in PyHC for many categories, AI/ML. There's also a general need to align metadata standards with heliophysics needs as well as international standards. And in general, there's lack of links to other important resources, other related software to one software related data sets, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how the HSSI was essentially born. So it's answering this open science call to unify software metadata with those international recommendations to improve science search capabilities for scientific software and to simplify citation of software in other resources. The idea behind it is you come to one website to search for the science software that you might need in Helio. We're starting with software packages contained within PyHC, which is why, we've come out to the community a few different times now at our annual meetings, at our telecons to get feedback, building our metadata structure now today for you to input some of your software into the platform. And then eventually it would expand out to other heliophysics code and other programming languages and to get other types of software incorporated as well. So we've been working hard to create interoperable software metadata. We made a new software metadata structure for heliophysics software registration. Rebecca et al. Have been hard at work at that, and we've been having weekly tag ups to give our input from the main development side of things. And we've been, sourcing input from community meetings and other advertising campaigns. We'll have a poster for what we've completed with the HSSI at AGU, Dash, also the upcoming SMD data repository workshop and so forth. The team, it's me, Sean, Isaiah is our student developer. Jenny's been helping us with usability testing. I've pinged some of you all about that, and several unfunded collaborators, including Rebecca and so forth. So phase one was really that initial information gathering period in the initial design. We've completed that. Phase two, we just wrapped recently. So that was the main meat and potatoes of the project, if you will, creating the software registration interface, populating a metadata structure, and working with y'all to get terms in there that are actually useful and are helpful for searching for software. We've presented it a few different times now at PyHC events. There is an initial words MVP, the HSSI. So this is the link. If you want to take a look-see at it for a moment, you can, although Isaiah is going to walk us through it a little bit before we start. And all of our code is open source on GitHub. You can find it by going to that link there. And we've done several usability testing sessions to get the software registration interface up to snuff, if you will. More to come for usability testing on the main website. And where we're at now. So we're cleaning up the website and software registration interface, functionality and layout. There will be some more usability testing, like I mentioned. I think bullet 3, Isaiah, you said we'd already completed or is in progress. And then obviously there will be a final push of the website and everything to the public, including the HSSI links on our website, PyHC, and so forth. Full disclosure, I did submit a no-cost extension NCE, so hopefully we'll have some more time to really beef this up and make it as great as it can be. So, purpose of today's activities, as I mentioned, we're going to work to get some PyHC software input to the HSSI. We could try to do it ourselves, but as the package leads, you are the, bigger sources of knowledge on all the details of your package, keywords associated with it, and so forth. So we really wanted to get your input for that. And so forth. Let's see. So first we're going to demo the process, and then we'll provide any assistance as needed as you walk through this. So this is your cue, Isaiah, to go ahead.
What's the target amount of time that it should take to fill out this?
Well, there is a very highly different amount of information that's required versus what is possible. So it's it can take 5 minutes. It could take 2 minutes, depending on what you have entered and registered with DataSite, and it could also take up to an hour. It's like if you want to fill out all the metadata information by hand, it's really highly dynamic.
Actually, I went through the process and filled out everything I knew about one particular thing that I wrote, and it took me like 7 to 10 minutes just filling it out by hand. But your tool makes it like 2 minutes.
Okay, but you wrote the thing and you live in the metadata world, so
yeah, I guess I was talking about
software.
yeah.
That's part
That's
of
all
why
I'm saying.
it's part
Yeah.
of why we're doing this to
Yeah,
get a
no, I agree. I just wonder if there was a target time, and because this is a persistent problem in every area, right? Scientists just hate doing this.
Fair. And
Yeah.
we've been working as hard as we can to mitigate the amount of work you have to do.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and pull up the example we have here, which I believe is Rebecca's package. So why don't we go ahead and...
Are we supposed to be following along, or?
Well, I'm just going to be showing a demo right now of how to exactly use this website. So just going to go ahead and enter this in so you guys know exactly what I'm doing here. This is Rebecca's magnetospheric SWCX publication, which is a piece of software that she wrote. And so to give you an example of how the submission form will go is generally you're going to, obviously enter in your information here. Just type in your name, your first name and last name. I don't know why I put an N there. I misspelled my own name. And then you can type in your email. And that's obviously not my professional email. But so this is kind of the big meat of it here is this the PID we can use to really get most of the data here. As soon as you enter this in, it'll ask you for a autofill confirmation. You just accept this and it'll use the DataSite API to pull as much information from this page here as it can. And it takes a minute or so, but it's able to pull a lot of information from there. So you avoid a lot of the work. And so as you can see, it kind of filled out the repository, found that from DataSite. It fills out the authors and affiliations. We have a little shortcut here to get the ROR, research organization ID. So you can just press find and it'll use this to search for the specific ROR. And as you can see, we get a match here. So we can just select that. And then you just go on. You have to verify that everything's accurate here because we don't
particular organization, the heliophysics, the HDMC, that hasn't been super active. I mean, there used to be meetings, but that was like a decade ago.
So John, that's where I work. So I know a lot of other people that
But
do
that's
big
not
things and
well
big
known. People aren't going to be like, oh, that's me. I definitely belong to that because
Sure, but when I'm looking at this, that's me. That's my affiliation. That's all that is.
Yeah, you don't have to put in affiliations that you don't think are relevant if you don't want to. So that's up to you. But yeah.
because even the concept of a roar is, I mean, I know what it is, but most of the scientists that I know probably don't know what that is.
Maybe it's a good idea to hold questions to the end to let
Okay.
Isaiah get through the demo, and then we can take some questions afterwards. How's that?
Okay. Yeah,
great.
but that's good feedback though. So thank you. Yeah. So anyways, moving on. We're just going to look over the rest of this information to verify that it's correct. The software name might want to be modified a bit, but it's showing what it's fetching from Zenoda here. So we'll leave it for now. Verify. This one's kind of a confusing field. The publisher here, we've seen some people struggle with this. It doesn't have an identifier, so you just want to leave that blank, and I think that's tripped people up. You do have that there. I think maybe in the user testing, people are just less inclined to read because they feel like there's eyes watching them. So maybe that's why it's been tripping people up. Who knows? So here's one of the more bigger pitfalls here is with the programming language. DataSite just lists Python, not Python 3 or 2. So for this package specifically, it's supposed to be 2.x, not 3.x. So we're just gonna have to change that manually, and that's okay. And then as we move on further, we'll see extra information that that's all optional down here. Keywords that help scientists search for and find your software package. And we're going to get software functionalities here. This is a graph that has been shown in previous telecons, I believe. But we can go ahead and look through here and see which ones are relevant to the software package. I know for this one we have data processing and analysis. So we'll just go ahead and start typing that in. And as you can see, it pops up. So we'll just select that. Then we will add another here, which will be mission specific. It's listed right there. And so we're done with that. With these multi-fields here, we want to make sure to press add. We don't want to use comma separated values. That won't get us what we need. So just go ahead and press add if you have new fields, not trying and entering multiple fields separated by commas. For data sources, we got the same sort of field here. It's a drop-down menu with filtering, and we're going to enter in observatory/mission specific. Input file formats. I'm not sure exactly which input file formats this uses, but I know it's not listed here, so we can select other, which is always going to be at the bottom of the drop-down list. Output file formats are CSV, which I believe is listed somewhere in here. Yeah, there it is. The operating systems, since for this package it doesn't matter which operating system you're using, it runs on all the ones that it's supposed to, or just in general, it's going to be OS independent. So you can select that. But if you have something else, you're going to want to specify those here. And for the CPU architecture, we don't have a lot of data on that, so we can just go ahead and leave that blank, even though it says it's recommended. It'll still let you submit the form as long as it's not required or mandatory, I believe is the word that we use. For related region, we have a few options here. These are also a controlled list, so we're just going to select the ones that are relevant to us, which is magnetosphere, Earth magnetosphere, and interplanetary space. Related phenomena is going to have to be entered in manually because we do not have any data for that currently. And that is solar wind charge exchange. The documentation for this is just going to be the GitHub repository. So since we entered that in up here, I'll just go ahead and scroll back up to the repository. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, now since I went to that field, it's asking if I want to autofill from the GitHub repository as well, which I'm now realizing should probably change because we actually already do that since we autofill that. But yeah, you could autofill again if you want, but it won't do anything because we already did that. And so yeah, let's see, what else do we have here? Related publications. Let me see if I can just pull these up. It's going to send me Zenodo. Okay. I don't want the Zenodo link. I'll just go ahead and copy and paste the DOI here. So for the related publications, they're going to be down here in additional metadata. And it's initially going to be empty, so you're going to have to press add to sort of add new fields. But the fun thing here about this find button is that it allows you to sort of search for a DOI without knowing what the DOI is off the top of your head. So I'm going to look at what the title of this one is. HaloSat observations of heliospheric solar wind charge. I'm just going to go ahead and search solar wind charge exchange. And we'll just search for it by name. Maybe also add in HaloSat. I don't actually know if this is going to come up or not, so hopefully it does. It's kind of hit or miss sometimes. Is this the same one? Let me see. I don't actually. Okay, let's see. Is this? Whoops. No, that's not. Oh wait. It's definitely a different link. I'm just going to go ahead and open this up because I'm curious. Rebecca, no, this isn't. Oh, wait, this is
That's
the same.
magnetospheric one, not the heliospheric one.
Okay, okay,
So you
okay.
might be using the find feature on, it might be linked to the previous DOI somehow.
Huh. Okay, well, as you can see, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So in
There's
that
been
case, it's good enough.
problems on the publisher side for that magnetospheric paper and the infrastructure. So I'm not surprised there's a problem here.
Yeah, fair. But you can go ahead and use that if that makes it easier for you guys to just search instead of having to memorize the DOIs off the top of your head or pull up your paper from however long ago. Then there's also some related software here, which we're going to add as just individual links. Generally, it's gonna be a DOI in most cases. We're going to want the DOI if you have one, but if not, you can just enter in the URL to the Git repository or any other information that we can use to reference it, basically. So I'm going to enter those in here. And then there's a related observatory field down here. We were working with the IVOA team for a bit, but they don't have a REST API ready for us quite yet. So we don't have a drop-down menu with all these or a search feature with the website. So you just will have to enter in the related observatory by name for now. But hopefully we're able to use a REST API by them in the future. So yeah, once you fill in all these fields and you double checked for accuracy the autofills, you will have to select the metadata agreement and then submit the form.
Wait, don't submit.
Okay. Did I
You missed
mess up a
one
field?
thing. And I think this is the field that a lot of packages here will really be interested in. If you go back up to the reference publication,
Oh yeah.
so the reference publication, yeah, right there, that's the
Okay.
field that you would enter your Journal of Open Source Science publication DOI or that's a similar thing. So, for example, um, I know several packages here in PyHC have publications that they would prefer that users cite even rather than the software. This is where you put that publication because the way when we get to it, this is those both the DOI for the software and the DOI for the reference publication will be listed on these sites on a data landing page site when we get to that. And users will be instructed to cite both things if they use the software.
So what's the name of your publication here? Because it's not listed in this email I
Well,
got
this
from
is
you.
the one that the infrastructure has problems finding. So
Oh,
just
okay.
that first, there's a long list of reasons for that, and it's
Fair.
not my fault, I promise. But
So it's that first related publication then.
yeah, just copy
Okay.
that.
So here we are. Yeah. So now the fields are all complete. So I'm just gonna go ahead and submit, and you'll get a confirmation here. Allegedly. Uh, That's not supposed to happen.
Can you confirm that it was submitted a different way?
I mean, I don't really think I should share the screen of how I would do that, but yes.
Right. But you can tell us if it's in there.
Yeah, let me. Okay, I am gonna have to dig into this later. Why are we not? Let me just look at this here.
In the meantime, do we have questions based on what you've seen?
Yeah, the Zenodo part was confusing to me where didn't we start with a Zenodo link at the very beginning? We entered a Zenodo link. Hey, here's where this is. And then it came down to publisher and it listed Zenodo, and so why is that in there twice, or what was the second one? Yeah, that one, publisher,
This here.
Zenodo.
Yeah, so for example, if you had someone else publish your software that was not Zenodo, like if it was just published on GitLab, then you would enter a ROR for GitLab or whatever organization published your software. Zenodo in this case does not. It's going to be publishing most software, but it doesn't have a ROR, so we leave this blank. Was that your question? I'm not sure.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe scroll up to the top. I think he was asking about those first two fields,
Because
like
it
not the.
started at Zenodo, right?
We started with this DOI.
Yeah, right there. That's from Zenodo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, um, but you don't put that identifier in there again. You're talking about an ROR for the actual publishing entity itself.
Yes. Yes.
And so, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's still going to be confusing to people.
Okay, that's fair.
You might even just hard code that to say, oh, we noticed that your software is at Zenodo, and so don't even show them that field or something if you know Zenodo doesn't have it.
Well, what we'll probably do, I mean, Zenodo has an identifier. It's just not an ROR. It's literally their website. So what we'll probably do is if the publisher is Zenodo, we'll just put in Zenodo's website into that field. Done.
Okay, and so some explanation there for that would be,
It's already written in that tiny little, that tiny description. So maybe the font size needs to be bigger. Would that help?
I guess I'm not sure if I'm sharing at full resolution. If you guys can even read all this, I probably should have thought out
I
before.
can
Maybe I
read
should have
that,
zoomed
yeah.
in some more.
Are there any other questions before we get started? I just want to note the time. We have about half an hour left.
PySpeed doesn't have an official Zenodo record yet. So will we have an opportunity to go back and add things to these records? What's the process for curating these entries?
Yeah, so that is basically what we are planning, is to have a email that gets sent out to you with a link that allows you to go back and edit it, basically. And also you'll be in contact with someone who's here at PyHC who's assigned as a curator to specific packages, who you're able to get in contact with about any questions about the software package or about the submission process. I believe is the idea. We do not have the email functionality in quite yet, so you won't get an email when you submit this today, but we will be sure to reach out to everyone that has submitted once we do have that implemented.
Yeah, because we have the happy specification, that's one thing, but the Python client there's lots of different happy software elements, the Python client being one, and the Python client itself doesn't have its own Zenodo page as well. So
Let me just note here, even if you don't have a DOI, this form is still useful. There's a decent amount of auto population that happens just if you put in your, say, GitHub or GitLab repository link. You want to demo that, Isaiah? Just clear the form and show them what happens when you only put in the repository link.
Sure. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Boy, I don't actually
Do you
have.
need that?
Yeah.
Let me go grab it for you.
Thank you.
All right, coming in the chat.
Great, thank you.
Why it copies like that? Hold on.
I do just want to say I did just double check the admin page for HSI HSD Cloud just to make sure this did submit, and it actually did. I don't know why it's. I'm gonna have to dig a bit more into why it's not redirecting to the landing page, but it did submit into the database. So let's go ahead.
Links in the
and-
chat.
Yeah, I see it. Code repository. So I'm gonna put this in here, and we're gonna go ahead and autofill. This one takes a little bit longer because it's crawling through the repository and pulling different files. So as you can see, it doesn't get all the data, but it does get the name, at least a little bit different from what we had last time, but you know, that is what it is called, so it's good. Publication date, program language, again, we're gonna have to change that to 2.
Okay. So it gets
Yeah,
some of it.
yeah, so that fills out less data, but still saves you some time, so that's nice.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, that's about all I have for the demo, so
I'm gonna steal that screen share back.
all right.
Oh, that is tiny. There it is. Okay. So now for the fun part of the Telecon, please navigate to this link below and begin submitting your own package or packages. If you want to just start with one, that's fine. And kind of as you're going through it, we're curious to hear how it's going, if you have questions and so forth. Ooh, Jan, yes.
Yeah, so I already submitted something, and on the first try, the submit button also opened a new page, and the second try, it just got stuck. But my question is, at the very end, at the metadata, there is related instruments and related observatories, and the description says that you should begin typing, and then some information will be pop out from the drop-down list. This is not working for me. Is this correct, or just my browser not complying?
It's correct. It's not implemented yet. Coming
Okay.
soon.
Yeah. No, but otherwise it worked for me, I think.
Beautiful. Good job, Isaiah. Good job. It worked because of you.
So how easy
It
is
works
it to
because of
update
all
this
of us.
afterwards? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just go ahead. I was just saying.
So how easy is it to update this after the entry afterwards? Because okay, we do have a Zenodo for our happy Python client, but it's we need to add the latest version.
Yeah, so the idea is that you're going to be sent back to basically not the exact same, but a very similar submission page to what you have now. Again, we don't actually have the email sending out yet, but we just need to basically get an SMTP server set up. But yeah, it'll be the same as what you're basically just initially submitting. It'll be the same sort of form, so it shouldn't be any more hassle than that.
So I think what Isaiah is saying too is that yes, but not yet. Does that help?
Yeah, I think so. Just so the emails will go out afterwards. You're saying you're just going to do that manually this time, or?
Yeah,
Isaiah,
yeah. Sorry, I was switched away from a different window. Yeah, we'll have to send out the emails manually this time, just because we don't have the we don't have the automatic SMTP server set up yet, and we also that it's not just that though. It's just the functionality of actually editing an entry in the database right now from someone who's not an admin isn't implemented yet. So once we implement that, which should be sometime within next week, we'll be sending out those emails. of all the entries that we have here.
Okay. Yeah, the primary author of this software that I'm submitting is not me. I'm on the list, but the submitter, I need to check with them. Maybe they want to be the submitter.
Well, it doesn't matter who submits it. That just becomes the first point of contact
Well, that's
for.
what I'm saying. That's probably not appropriate.
No. There's nothing about credit. So it becomes the first person that we email to ask questions about the submission, right?
Uh,
And we can add additional submitters later or
well, you can
change that.
actually, oh, there's an add button for submitter here. Oh,
Yeah.
that's for submitter email, not submitter. There's only one submitter.
Yes. Yeah, that's just for a backup email if you want to enter in a second one.
Well, I think because we have our Happy Telecon actually right after this, we'll go through this with everybody there. And it only takes 2 minutes, right, Rebecca?
Well, yes. If you want, it can take longer, but it doesn't have to. As a group, it's probably a 5 to 10 minute activity because you're talking about it. And
Yeah.
like that.
But the I here it did do something pretty cool here because I forgot that we had published the actual client on Zenodo as well. When I put in the GitHub repo, it found the link. It
You want to
found
share your screen?
sure, I can do that. So, but so I just put this in. I left this blank, but it went and found a Zenodo link for it based on the GitHub repo. Now it found the one that points to a specific version, and I changed this. Whoops. Oh, I'm clicking off of the code repo, so it's asking me to go. I'll see if it changes this. But it put in the version specific link, which is because we only have one version right now, but I changed it to the version independent link for Zenodo.
Well, the trick there is if you want the auto-populate to work on that persistent identifier field, we need the DOI. So if you copy that link into your browser and copy the DOI off of that page, that could work. Or you could use that find button that Isaiah worked so hard and you can copy the name.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Any DOI link on that page will work. The software is pretty smart. Yeah.
I'm
But
curious.
I
Copy that.
want to wait. I don't understand. I mean, I want the version independent DOI.
Yep. That one's it.
I know, but I had to paste that one in manually. And wait, you're saying
If you click find, what happens?
here?
Oh, I know what you did. You copied the records that with number and it turned into a Zenodo link. So or you typed in zenodo.org instead. Yeah, just try the find button.
I never
And
typed anything in here.
I know. Okay, sorry. I need a little more caffeine this morning apparently.
All I ever
Um,
typed in was all I ever typed in was this, and
mhm.
this auto filled out. It keeps doing
Click
that.
cancel.
Yeah. It auto filled out with this, or wait,
Uh-huh.
no, with it filled out the project or the version specific one, and then I pasted in the version independent one, which is only one digit different at the end.
Let's try the find button. Can you click on that for me?
Yeah, I did. Nothing. And it's
Sorry,
just
that's a bad implementation there. I'm just realizing, but click on it again here. Now you'll get a different pop-up.
wait.
Yeah.
Why did it change?
So the reason why that was happening initially is we have a when you're focused on the URL bar there, if it detects an identifier in there when it loses focus, that pop-up comes up automatically. So you're not even the problem was I had not tried to detect if you're clicking the find button, and so it's just detecting that you're losing focus of that URL bar there, and then it's just giving you the autofill prompt instead of the actual find prompt, which is what we wanted here instead. And that is interesting behavior that I had not anticipated. So
Right, that looks like the right DOI. See those last numbers? Those are the same numbers you had on the other page. That should be it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see, is that yeah, that's the all versions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so if you go back to the submission form and click off of that field somewhere else, yeah, click accept, because that's the right one. And then a lot of things get auto-populated.
I do also want to mention that even if you enter in the version specific DOI, it will detect that and correct it. It won't correct it, but it'll fetch data from the concept DOI instead. If you enter in the autofill information for just the version specific DOI.
Isaiah, just noting, John mentioned that a concise description is limiting him to 19 characters instead of 150 to 200. So that's a feedback for something to fix.
Good to know. Thank you.
What about anyone else here running into any issues or questions as you go through this? I'll take silence to mean it's going perfectly.
John, you're still sharing your screen.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
This Zenodo one, so we can just leave that blank, or?
Yep. If the field has a red asterisk next to it, then that's required. Otherwise, it's all optional. But if I recommend one field is not required, it's going to be the related region field, because that is our current link to the Helio data website now. That's one of two fields. You just passed it. That's one of two fields that they're going to use when they hit our APIs. So at some point in the future.
So, I mean, ours is just data access software. It doesn't really deal with a specific region. I
Well,
would definitely leave this blank.
the data that you serve is from what regions?
It's agnostic. It doesn't matter. It's
And
just,
click all of them.
yeah, but it could be stream flow data. It could be earthquake data. It could be, it's just any time series. It's just a,
So then all 5 of those regions should apply, but I think Happy serves some solar data. Is that correct?
there's some, yeah, the Helio viewer has like a file listing thing.
And there's
Yeah.
the last Blizzard Happy server.
Yeah, irradiance data. But
Yeah,
that's
so
not, those are Happy servers. This is the Python Happy client.
so if it has some sort of functionality for research in a particular region on that list, then I would recommend that you choose it.
Okay. So you'd rather it be sort of all inclusive.
Yeah, because when from the data side, this might be a phase 2 or phase 3, we're not sure yet. But when they hit HSSI's API, they're going to be looking for software connected to this related region or that related region.
Okay.
And they'll use some sort of logic to choose from what comes up to list on their page for recommended software to use for analysis in this related region and so on.
What's the difference between data processing analysis and data processing and analysis time series?
One is more specific than the other.
I mean, some of these are very specific. Linear gradient estimation, that's um, that's so specific compared to like calibration. How do you decide what these are?
It's just the title given. So if that title as it shows seems relevant to your software, choose it. If it doesn't, don't choose it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll go through this for the client.
So Isaiah, a question from the chat: is the description field markdownable?
It is not. No, it's just plain text.
Is that something this group would like for us to look into how to support?
If you're giving me that much space, I kind of do want to be able to do bullets and stuff.
Fair enough.
Similarly, we've got the version description, which I'm copying from release notes, which is, again, has bullets and headings and stuff. And basically, if you're asking for more than about 20 words, I kind of want markdown.
Well, that should have auto-filled. Did you try putting in the GitHub link or maybe a DOI?
It auto-filled with the version number and a date on it.
Okay, but not the description?
Nope.
Okay. So I guess write that down, Isaiah, as something to pull out. But that would be through the SumF tool, right?
It's 3 different sources I'm pulling the description from.
Okay.
One of them is SumF, yes.
All right. So John, did you put in a DOI?
Yeah, it pulled a version and a date, both wrong actually from Zenodo, but that's Zenodo's fault, not yours.
Okay.
Thank you for checking the accuracy of your autofilled data.
Yep. Any other questions or comments?
Out of curiosity, Andrew, did you have anything you were submitting?
I am working on a submission for Sammy right now.
Oh, cool. How's it
What
going?
is the difference between the persistent identifier and the Zenodo identifier under publisher? One is under just persistent identifier. You said to put in a DOI link versus the Zenodo under publisher. Is that not the same DOI link?
Yeah, that's what I said was confusing. Is that the one that they want? Because people don't know about RORs, ROR yet.
So take a look at the description and give that a quick read and then let me know if you still have a question.
The description being the gray text below the title.
Yeah, below that identifier field under publisher.
Okay. So you want not a DOI link, but a Zenodo link.
Yeah, and that will autofill pretty soon. That's something that's going to be easy to put in.
Okay.
So that's just going to be the zenodo.org.
So I would put something specific there to try and explain that. Like, why am I entering the Zenodo again here? And then a little pop-up explaining this is the identifier for the publishing institution itself, i.e. their website, or even better, their ROR, something like that, where people are like, oh, I already put the Zenodo link. They just see Zenodo. Oh, they don't think about the Zenodo having an identifier. I know it's obvious once you read the text in there, but if people don't have the right mindset, it's still going to be confusing, I think.
Yeah, we're just going to autofill that if we detect Zenodo in the publisher field and just put that link there. That'll make it much easier.
Under the keywords, there are a lot of what, or not a lot, there are a handful of what look like UUID options that are not like plain text things.
Can you share your screen about that?
Let me show mine real quick. Right here, when for the publisher, for identifier, maybe you just call that publisher identifier or something, or identifier for publisher, something where it's not just you see Zenodo identifier, and you think, oh yeah, I should put in my Zenodo link, but something to
Okay. Yeah, we
just
could call that publisher identifier. That's
yeah.
perfectly reasonable. That's a
Yeah,
good
and
idea.
that way people know, oh, this is the identifier not for me, but for the publisher.
Okay. You think you could take a note about that, Isaiah, real quick?
Sure, yeah.
All right, great. We might need to make a similar change in other places on the form.
We'll
We'll
also
take a
have
look at that.
full recording for us to reference later.
Sure. Andrew, you were having a question about somewhere under keywords. Can you share your screen about that?
Yeah, the Zoom has given me a little bit of trouble. I might need to
Oh,
leave and come back.
oh goodness. Okay.
About that.
And there's no cancel button. If I just clear form, nothing's gotten submitted yet or anything.
That's right.
Till you hit submit. Nope.
Okay.
This is entertaining. It's like a mass usability testing session.
Yeah, no, it's good, right?
This is really good feedback. Thank you all.
Yeah, don't take my feedback as criticism. That's what I always tell people. It's like, hey, if people are giving you stuff that they don't like about it, that's what you want. You want people, that means they're using it.
Yeah, no. This is
Yeah. So there was another software. Oh, it's been a long time ago. When you first started on this in Slack, I posted a link to another software metadata repository thing. Is this going to be fused with any upstream ones or harvested by larger software indexing mechanisms?
Yes, but not yet. So we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to get ready to produce particular metadata format output that Google and internet search engines and one day Code Meta will be able to index. But we have to have a place to embed that metadata into. Now, whether that goes directly into the Zenodo landing pages or landing pages that we create just to get something faster, we don't know yet. But yeah, all of that infrastructure, all of the planning for that is ready. There's some coding that needs to be done. We're hoping this no cost extension will give us the time to do that in a good way.
Yeah, I can't find that link. I guess it was more than 90 days ago, so it scrolled out of it.
Yeah, that's Slack for you.
Hmm.
That is a strange thing that you're showing, Andrew.
Yeah, that is indeed strange. I'm not, not
Can
sure
you
what
copy one of those number things into the chat? I want to
those
see
are
what
those.
that does.
That's like a submit key. No, what is that?
You're populating the database, Isaiah, with something funky.
It grabs submission. Yeah, so previous keywords that were submitted by other people are being used, and I don't know why those are being used as keywords. I'm not sure if that's a error. That's when it's being submitted to the database, it's being converted to that number, maybe. I don't know.
Interesting.
Bug to look into.
Yeah. Thanks for showing us, Andrew.
There's two heliophysics with capitalization differences
Yeah.
and two solar orbiters. Oh yeah, oh boy.
All right. Well, try not to choose alphanumeric codes as keywords. That definitely won't help with search for your package, but choose other keywords that will help, that are relevant. Yeah. Teasing out the remaining hiccups and caveats. Hey, well, Julie, we're about at the end of our time. What do you want to do here?
Well, we should probably wrap.
I would like to mention real quick just that you guys are doing these submissions, and that's great. And you might expect to see them on the front page of the website. I just want to say that the front page of the website that shows the software submissions aren't going to show anything yet because they need to first be approved, basically on the back end. So if you don't see it there, don't worry. It has been still stored in our database. We're good.
So the submit button, does that tell you what happens next? Hey, your thing is under review. You should get an email after it's approved with a link where you can edit it and so forth.
Yeah, we're still kind of changing the result page in the end, but yeah, there's a little confirmation message. It'll be different in the future, but right now it's just a basic confirmation saying, yeah, you've been submitted.
Okay, yeah, but it should tell you this is that it's under review by a human. It's not
Yeah, we
just
plan to.
automatic thing. Mhm.
Yes, we plan to do that for sure.
Okay.
It's going to be something along the lines of you will be contacted by this curator whenever we have the curators assigned, and then they'll give you more information about when it'll be available publicly.
Great. Well,
This might be a dumb question. Are we just going to import all of the PyHC packages into this like in an automated way?
we could, but the benefit of you doing it yourself is getting the correct keywords and other inputs that we might miss, just not being like in your package itself.
Yeah, yeah, I will say we tested just like grabbing everything from the PyHC projects page and populating this website with it like during the early stages. Um, and yeah, I mean we can do that, but the problem is just that the PyHC projects page doesn't have all the metadata that really makes this website great. So yeah, like Julie said.
Mhm. All right. Well, other than maybe if the HSSI team has a second, or even just Isaiah, to quick debrief, we'll go ahead and let y'all go. Normally, because this was kind of an off-cycle telecon, it would be next week would be a regular telecon, but I'm out for Rebecca's heliophysics standards workshop. So in 2 weeks, we're just gonna shift this meeting series, and today's the official bi-weekly marker. Topic TBD, but see y'all then.